Welcome back to the 2 Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Cincinnati Bengals and going over the top 5 challenges I think they're going to face in the upcoming 2021 season. But before getting to that topic, just a quick question for those of you viewing, especially the Bengals fans out there, Who Dey Nation. How many touchdowns do you think Joe Burrow will throw in the upcoming season? Comment down below. You think he's going over 30, under 30? You think he'll push 40? Whatever it is, comment down below and kind of hear my prediction at the end. But while you're at it, in the comment section, drop down below a video idea you want to see me do, and I'll see if I could get on it. But now getting straight into it, challenge number 1 is going to revolve around the question of Joe Burrow. How is he going to be after injury? It's going to be a challenge. Now, do I think Joe Burrow is going to rebound? Yes. Do I think he will be fine? Yes. But an ACL injury, while many players have came back before from it, I mean, Adrian Peterson, this isn't the best comparison. He's a running back, one of the best running backs ever. But he came back from ACL injury and he won MVP. Am I saying Joe Burrow is going to do that the very next year like Adrian Peterson did? No. It's a completely different situation. But I'm just saying it's not impossible for him to rebound, and I think he will. But it is still a challenge. It is still a fight. Going into an offensive line, being with a brand new team, not having your full rookie season under your belt, still not having a whole lot of reps under your belt in the NFL. It's going to be hard to have a young quarterback who's still going to have to go through a growing pain phase, be on, I don't want to say a limp leg. He's going to be completely fine. He'll be healed, be healthy for week 1. But still, I don't know if in the back of his mind it's going to really rattle him and his brain to probably trust the pocket, step up in the pocket. I think, again, his instincts will be there. I think he will be fine. Joe Burrow's got a dog mentality that he's already saying, be ready week 1. He's already saying, be ready for September. Be ready, Bengals. I trust him, but you can't tell me it's not going to be somewhat of a challenge, somewhat of a hardship for him to go through. It's going to be a tough journey, and I think halfway into the season, we're going to really see Joe Burrow's potential branch out, but I do think in the first few games, in the first part of the season, it still could just be some mental block there that could really affect him, and just the Bengals overall trusting him and just being scared every time he goes down. I think it'll be a challenge. At the end of the day, I think he'll be fine, but it won't be completely easy in the first few weeks. You guys tell me, do you agree or disagree with that? Though, number 2, it's going to be the head coach, Zac Taylor. He's going to be up for a challenge just overall and keeping his job. You know, if the Bengals get a top 5, top 10 pick again, I don't know if Zac Taylor's going to keep his job. A lot of people have faith in him coming from the Sean McVay coaching tree. And you got to give him a break. You know, your star quarterback went down last year. This is still a really young team. There's no huge expectations this year, so it's really hard to say, oh, this is a Super Bowl roster and Zac Taylor brought us down. It's not a Super Bowl roster, so you really can't blame Zac Taylor from not taking him there. He's doing the best of what he's got, but still, I do think there might be some better candidates out there in the following season, possibly if Eric Bieniemy finally leaves the Chiefs, possibly if the Bills offensive coordinator branches out, Brian Dable, Joe Brady from the Panthers. There's a lot of good offensive coordinators that could be looking for some head coaching jobs next year that I think could be possible candidates that could replace Zac Taylor. But, you know, if they go out here and get right around a 500 season, even if it's 8-9, that's a drastic improvement from whatever they were last year, 4 or 5 wins. It's a pretty big improvement, especially considering the division you're in. But Zac Taylor, he's got some talent this year. I don't expect him to get to the Bengals to the postseason, get him to the Super Bowl, but I do expect him to create an improvement, and if he doesn't, it's going to be a challenging conversation for him to kind of, pinpoint the conversation with the owner and the GM as to why he should keep his job, but we'll just have to see. Number 3 on the list is going to be just overall experience. This is one of the I don't want to say one of the youngest teams in the NFL. All teams have their young players, but there are a lot of young pieces on this team when it comes to your weapons. Joe Burrow, only rookie and really only played about half the season. Backfield, Joe Mixon, he's not young anymore, but he's not a veteran. He's still on it's only his 4th or 5th year in the league. He's still relatively young, but where I'm talking about is the receivers. Jamar Chase is a rookie. T. Higgins is only going to be in his 2nd year. Tyler Boyd's still on a rookie contract. This is an extremely young team that you just can't expect a lot out of. And there's guys that come into the league, like T. Higgins, that shows as a rookie he could still have an explosion type of effect onto his offense. Justin Jefferson with the Vikings, and a lot of people are thinking Jamar Chase will be like that to the Bengals, what Justin Jefferson was to the Vikings. So I'm not saying this young talent can't go anywhere, but I'm just saying if somehow this team got into the playoffs, there's no big game experience, there's no NFL playoff experience. Some of these guys have gone far in college playoffs, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase together, but when it comes to the NFL, a complete different league, none of these guys have big game experience if somehow, some way they got to the postseason, and that is a factor and a variable you have to take into consideration when you come down to comparing and predicting these postseason games. The Bengals, they just don't have that type of experience. Now, am I saying they're going to make the postseason? It's going to matter this year? No. But if somehow, some way they did, big play experience or big game experience is not there, and just overall NFL experience, even in the regular season, a lot of your important guys, and a lot of these guys you invested your entire future into, does not. And it's not a bad thing. You can't rush it. It's a hurry up and wait thing. And I'm just saying it could, them being so young might push them off 1 or 2 years away from really taking over the division. Moving on to number 4, the offensive line. I know this year they're going to have a hopefully healthy offensive line. Got Riley Rife and Jonah Williams, a pretty good tackle duo. But to me, it's still, and they even went in I believe they got a guard in the second round, a left guard. So, they put some attention on this Bengals offensive line, but still, it's not like an offensive line where it's like, oh, Joe Burrow's got a brick wall to protect him now. That's not it by any means. Jackson Carman, that is the name of the guard they took in the second round. There's protection there, but it's still not an O-line that I believe Joe Burrow's just not going to get sacked in. I still think he's going to take a lot of hits. I think he's going to take a lot of sacks. I don't think he's going to be completely unprotected where he breaks his leg again, but I can't count on this offensive line against a Myles Garrett, against a TJ Watt, both twice a year, protecting him long enough to let a play develop when you're going up a tough Ravens secondary. It's going to be hard. Again, is he going to break his leg again? I highly doubt it, but is he going to get hit a lot? Is he going to have a lot of pressures? Is he going to have a lot of sacks? Yes. This is why I think they should have put more focus on the offensive line in the draft. Again, they addressed it already. They got Riley Rife and Jonah Williams, a pretty good duo, hopefully, in the making. But we'll just have to see. I think you could have given a little more potential, or a little more, help. But maybe it'll pan out. I'm not in the front office of the Bengals. I don't know their vision. Maybe they believe in what they got already. They believe Jamar Chase was a better pick. I think I would have gone protection. I still think I'd be looking at some possible free agent linemen out there, but they believe in it. It is what it is. Again, to me, I just think it'll be a challenge, and I think Joe Burrow's going to get a lot of pressures and hits this year. Still, next and final on the list, number 5 is going to be the biggest challenge, is just the division they're in. AFC North, you could argue that it's the hardest division in the NFL or the toughest division in the NFL. To me, it's the second toughest. I got the NFC West at number 1 with the Seahawks, Cardinals, Niners, and Rams. But number 2, and again, they're fighting for number 1, the Bengals, AFC North, with the Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, and Browns. They're all right there. I mean, the Browns, Ravens, and Steelers were all 3 playoff teams last year. I mean, clearly, that if that doesn't tell you how tough a division is, I don't know what else is. But Browns, they have one of the most complete rosters in the NFL. You could argue they have the best roster in the NFL. Lamar Jackson, he's as electric as it comes. Secondary is as good as it comes. Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey, Jimmy Smith. It's a great all-time head coach, future Hall of Fame coach in John Harbaugh. Steelers, as much as I doubt them this year and as much as I don't like Big Ben playing one more year and being the face of the Steelers, that defense is going to be lethal and hard to deal with. Minkah Fitzpatrick, Joe Hayden, TJ Watt, Bud Dupree left, but Devin Bush, Stephon Tuitt, Cameron Hayward. It's still a defense I don't want to play against. The Browns, they improved their defense. It's just a tough division that I don't see the Bengals making it out of. Now, Bengals are on par in some situations. I think Joe Burrow is arguably the second best in his division by the end of this year. Today he isn't, but I think by the time the end of the season, we could see Joe Burrow climb that stake of being the second best quarterback in the division. You could argue they have the best receiving core in the division. Browns got a tough one with OBJ and Jarvis Landry. The Bengals have a deep one as well. A lot of it depends on rookie Jamar Chase, but if he pans out like he's expected to, you got a great receiving core in T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Tyler Boyd, one of the best slot receivers. Even Auden Tate at your 4th best receiver is not too shabby. So again, Bengals are on par and have some perks to their team as well. Joe Mixon's a pretty good running back, but I just think in that division, it's going to be tough to overcome, and that's going to be one of, if not the biggest challenge they face this year, is trying to fight for a playoff spot or even a winning record in that division, the AFC North. But as always, guys, I do want to hear your opinions. Do you agree or disagree with my 5 biggest challenges for the Bengals in the upcoming season? And as always, of course, referring back to the question of the day, how many touchdowns do you see Joe Burrow throwing in the upcoming season? To me, 17 games, 32, 33, 34. I'd say 33, 34 is right around the sweet spot for me this year. He's still going to have some growing pains. He's still not going to have the best O-line. He's still going to have some really young receivers. They're going to put up some numbers, but I do think this team isn't perfect, and therefore 32, 33, 34 sounds like the perfect range to me. But comment down below your prediction as well. And as always, of course, I truly appreciate it. Thank you for watching, guys. 2-minute warning.